back in November, one of the things that they said, and we were talking is, I said, what is one thing we could do for our junior class? And one of them talked about how there's so much that they didn't know. There was so much to prepare for in their senior year that they didn't know, and they wish they had a little bit of background, a little more of a foundation to prepare for that senior year. And that really got me thinking and trying to reflect on that. And so this is kind of how we landed here today, is an opportunity that we're going to have some seniors. We have a list of questions for them. We're going to ask them to answer these list of questions, and if we have time at the end, we're going to give you an opportunity to ask any questions. So the one thing that I said with them when we got started is I'm asking them all to be honest and open, okay? And what I'm going to ask for you guys is to be respectful and to receive what they say, all right? Because, as I said with them, you can't grow without learning. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to learn, because before you know it, you're going to be in their seat. And the world is going to come slamming in your face. You're going to have so much that you're going to have to prepare for, and hopefully after today, maybe they've given you a little bit of knowledge so that you can feel a little more comfortable in preparing for your next year. Good? So we're going to begin. The first thing that we've asked is we've asked everyone to go through, say their name, and what their post-secondary or after high school plans are.
My name is Jackson. After high school, I plan on attending Kennesaw University and becoming a music educator.
Good morning, class of 2026. My name is Christian Wright, and my post-secondary plan is to attend Reinhardt University as a music ed major and go into teaching music.
Hey everybody, my name is Grayson. I'm going to be going to University of North Georgia to study business management and open a film company.
My name is Elena Hilton. I don't know where I'm going to go yet. I have two options right now. I find out this Friday, and I plan on going into the marketing manager business, something like that. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Emma Christensen. We're going to find out soon where I'm going, but I'm going to major in neuroscience.
Hey guys, Jaden Dean. I'm going to the Citadel, and I'm majoring in exercise science.
Hi guys, I'm Abigail, and I hope to attend UGA for my nursing degree.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I plan on attending Georgia College State University and get my nursing degree.
Hi, I'm Ada. I plan to go to Baylor University or UGA, and I'm going to major in public relations.
Hi, I'm Briley Deering, and I plan to go to the Citadel.
My name is McKinley. I plan to go to Chat Tech in hopes to transfer to Kennesaw State and pursue a career in wedding planning.
Hi, I'm Bailey. I plan to go in UNG for nursing and become a NICU nurse.
Hi, I'm Diego. I'm going to attend UGA and major in bioengineering.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm going to UGA and I'm going to major in applied biotechnology.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Richards. I plan to go to Kennesaw State University and study geospatial science and become a land surveyor.
Hi, my name is Sam Hammondtree, and I'm undecided on where I want to go to college between Auburn and Georgia and plan to study finance.
Hey, I'm Joshua Lanford. I plan on going to Indonesia next year to tell people about Jesus.
I'm Sydney Wolf. I'm committed to Messiah University to play volleyball, and I plan on majoring in music and worship and becoming a worship leader.
I'm Farrah Jones. I'm going to UGA for political science, and the plan is to go to law school and become a lawyer.
All right, so we're going to jump right in. We have a list of questions, so we're going to let these seniors take it over. So the first question that we have is for Briley, Christian, Elena, and Grayson. Talking about summer leadership and year-long leadership opportunities are incredibly beneficial to our students their junior year. Did any of you complete a summer leadership program that you would like to share with our juniors?
Yeah.
Who wants to kick it off? Riley? Go ahead.
So over the summer, I spent a month over at Georgia Southern for something called GHP. It was like an honors thing, and my biggest advice on why you should do this is because you can put it on your, not only because you can put it on your college applications and it looks very, very good on it and everything, but also because it opens the door on the people that you meet and the opportunities that you get that way. I met a lot of people that introduced me to jobs that I never even thought of before, and then just different concepts and ideas and how to kind of the pathway of what I kind of wanted to do in like what I kind of wanted to do in the future that I never even thought of. And that's probably like my biggest thing is not only does it look really, really good on your college applications, but it kind of gets your brain thinking more on like what do you want to do in the future. And yeah, was it Christian?
Christian? Elena or Gracie? Gracie, why don't you go next since it's coming right by you?
Okay, cool. So I participated in a program called UNG Summer Honors. It was a 2-week program down at the University of North Georgia. You stay on campus and you just kind of split your time between sitting in on actual classrooms where professors will prepare lectures for you in different subjects, you know, business, anthropology, that kind of thing. And then half the time you're down at a ropes course and you're learning how to like rock climb, you learn how to belay with like a live belay. Learning leadership skills, things like that, and then halfway through we go up to Mount Yona in Dahlonega and we rock climb that like sheer face, and it was really fun. It was really cool, and as a part of that, I actually won a $2,500 scholarship to the University of North Georgia and automatic acceptance into their honors program. And I believe applications for that are out right now. I checked from this champion. So if you're interested in going to UNG or just having a cool little fun experience that you can put on your resume, UNG Summer Honors is definitely recommended. It's awesome.
Hello, I was able to participate in the same program and got to see Briley this summer at Georgia Southern for the Georgia Governor's Honors Program. I'd like to talk about 2 programs. I'd like to talk about GHP and I'd like to talk about 4-H because they're both very good leadership opportunities. GHP, the deadline's passed, so unfortunately you're not going to be able to do that unless you're a semifinalist like your classmate Micah Newton on trombone. This opportunity for Governor's Honors Program opened so many doors for me. I would say I learned about, I don't really have a percentage, but I learned a little bit about music for, that was my concentration area, but mostly when I was at GHP, I learned about myself, and I learned how to become a human. This opportunity not only builds you as your area, but it builds you as a human and really carves you into the person you wish to be as an adult. 4-H offers that opportunity, but not only do you get to do that over the summer, but it's an all-year event until Christmas time when there's a really long, depressing break that no one likes. So I would say any opportunity that you get to take, do those things. Through 4-H, I was able to start my non-for-profit organization Leadership for You, where we do a 6-module course, blah, 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 boring, cool, human-building things. In 4 to 5 years, that's going to be in every music classroom because I was able to network my way up to the Northeast, or the Southeast president for CNAFME, which is the National Association for Music Education.
Awesome, thank you. Who you got? Go ahead and back down.
All right, I'm Elena, and I attended the UNG Summer Honors Program over the summer, and it's just a 12-day period, and as Grayson was saying, it's really fun. We do a bunch of stuff down there, and it's for 12 days. They offer 1 scholarship, but they also offer 4 other awards. Typically 2 people from each school go, but Pickens High School was lucky enough to get 5 free people to go. So they usually cost money, but they were willing to pay, and actually everybody who went down there was free. So if money's like a problem to y'all, they can pick people to like go down there for free, which we were all very grateful for that. And I also would like to say to do it just because of like the experience, to meet new people, we got to talk to professors about college. We got to talk about professors, like what we want to do, like with our future careers and stuff. And it was like very opening. And those same professors still email us and talk to us to this day, like checking in on us, asking what college we're going to go to, even supporting us if we're not going to go to UNG. And I really do like appreciate that because they do care. And I think UNG was such a great experience that I didn't expect like to happen, because I don't know. But I do recommend y'all applying for it and just trying it out because it's really great experience.
So what I heard all four of you say is great experience, good for your college resume, great way to meet new people and open your eyes to new opportunities. Awesome. So our next question is for Sydney, Sam, and Abigail.
So, as much as I would love to tell
So
all
let me
of you.
tell them the question real quick. You ready?
sorry.
She's prepared. She's ready. So the question is, what factors help you decide on which college you applied to?
So, like I was saying, as much as I would love to tell everybody to go and apply for all of your REACH schools, it's just not realistic. College applications are so expensive. They come up to like $90 per application. So I would recommend to keep it to like 5 colleges and probably 1 or 2 REACH schools and then 3 schools that you know you can bank on, and definitely dive into what the schools entail, if they have opportunities that you would like, if they have your degree that you want to go for. And I would definitely recommend to stay in state so you can take advantage of your hope and everything. And yeah, is there anybody that wants to add to that?
Going Sydney or Sam? Sydney or Sam? Sam, batter's up.
So of course, money is the biggest thing when applying to college. College costs a lot, and that was a big factor for me. And scholarships really do help if you want to plan to go out of state. Like Auburn's someplace I really liked, and it also helps me with this champion, giving me all the scholarships I need. And then I would say the next biggest thing is find a place that feels like home to you. Tour as many colleges as you can to limit those to get what Abigail said, get about 5 colleges you really feel like you can be successful there in your 4 years. And just have fun there and choose a program that fits you and just find a place that feels like home.
I had it narrowed down to 5 from the get-go. I knew I was going to go to a small Christian school, and I needed to find one that had a good degree that fit what I wanted to do with my life. And I found Pennsylvania, Messiah. It was super cool. Scholarships are the most helpful thing because you don't want money to hold you back from going where you want to go. You don't want money to hold you back from a place that feels like home or the place where you belong. And it's hard to find that, but keep looking because you're going to. As long as you have your heart set on going where you want to go and you have your heart set on what you want and what you want to do, just find that place and do whatever it takes to get the money you need, to get the scholarships you need, to push yourself to get there, because you will. And I know that I'm going to end up where God wants me to go.
Awesome. Just out of curiosity, show of hands, those of you that are attending college, how many are going out of state? Okay. All right, awesome. Question 3 sorry, I don't have my glasses. For Amanda, Wyatt, Bailey, and Abigail. Abigail, you got 2 in a row. You ready? Oh, this is a good one. What time of senior year do you recommend applying to college? Does applying early help with obtaining your college scholarship opportunities?
So the biggest thing with me is I didn't take my SAT when I was a junior. So after I took my ACT, I got my scores back in November. But being the way I am, I procrastinated and waited until later, and I just applied to KSU. And I'm also going to go to Chat Tech and then transfer into KSU. But I feel like, especially if you take your SAT junior year or earlier in the year, as soon as you get your ACT score back, find your colleges that you want to go ahead and apply. It doesn't hurt anything to go ahead and get it done early. And then later on, when you're applying for scholarships, you have that application status to put on there, and you know kind of roundabout what you're going to do with it.
Okay, I highly recommend applying early because if you're like me, I was set on where I was going and then I changed my mind. So if you apply early, you have plenty of time to figure out what you're doing and change your mind, and it's still going to be okay.
So, look, I wanted to stay there for a second. Crap. So you applied early, and then you changed your mind. Did that create any difficulty with the application process? Or
No.
what did that look like for you?
I just decided I didn't want to go there, so I applied to UNG. and there was no problems.
So it's okay to change your mind?
It is.
Awesome.
So with college like applications and stuff, I also recommend applying early. But with what I did, I looked up all the schools that I had planned on applying to, and a lot of colleges have like the free application week. And so, I mean, if money is an issue, then I definitely would recommend doing the free application week. But yeah, that was mine. And then with the scholarship opportunities, on the high school website, there's a scholarship like link for all the seniors. I definitely recommend doing those because they've helped a lot.
So I actually would not recommend starting your application process at all your senior year. As horrible as it sounds, you need to be brainstorming ideas your junior summer, like summer out of junior year, I guess senior summer, because the time comes down so fast and you'll be like right there close to applications or close to early applications, and you won't make it in time. And that's how I was with UGA. And I really wish that I would have taken the time beforehand and gone through writing my college application and getting it proofread and everything like that, and then going early application, because getting your decisions back in December is so helpful and saves you so much time of like worrying where you want to go, or like if you'll have roommates, or like how you'll pay for it or stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend applying early if you can. Be brainstorming, be doing everything before your senior year starts. Also, can I add to something for the second question? Okay. So we didn't talk about this in the second question. What factors helped you decide on which college you applied for? Transferring is always an option, and we should have pointed on this, but if you want to go to a college so bad and you are dead set on it, especially if it's out of state, because that gets so expensive, please, please, please don't just drop it. Apply for every scholarship. Ms. Champion is the best, and she gives you so many scholarships that you can apply for. So please apply for all of those, and do your core classes at like a smaller college or like KSU, to where it'll almost be free, especially if you commute back and forth. It's covered by Hope and everything. So definitely, definitely take advantage of transferring so you can go to your dream school if you're dead set on it.
How many people have that plan of transferring, going to one school and then transferring to another? Yeah? Okay. You don't know? It's okay.
Oh, yes.
So the question is, make sure we can all hear this, is what are the advantages to applying early for the college scholarships?
So if you apply early, they are way more likely to give you funding for your years that you're going to be at that school. And like once you hit regular decisions, your chances of getting financial aid from that school are slim to none unless you're financially in the state to get money from them. But I would definitely take advantage of the applying early, because they'll hand out scholarships to people that apply early than over regular decision. Yes, you usually have to put in your application October, November-ish, and you get it back in December. So you have all those months leading up to regular decision. And if you get waitlisted or deferred or something, December, you can always wait until January, February-ish. I get my UGA decisions this Friday. So the KSU and UGA overlapped each other, and I didn't want to like not be able to go to UGA, but I also didn't know if I would get in. So I've had to apply for housing and everything and put money down already because I didn't take advantage of that early action. So I would definitely.
With you. Explain to them defer. Explain to them what that means.
So basically, what I think of it as is like they will still go over your application for regular decision, but for early action, you are not admitted yet. So you should be sending in, you should take SATs again, and you should try to score higher or do better in your classes, even try the ACT or something. Put more on your college resume and build it up better, and then resubmit for regular decision.
Nice. Can you follow up to that? I think that's a great job, guys. Great group. All right, we're going to pivot from college. all right? And we're going to talk about the here and now in the last 4 years of their lives. This one could be a little vulnerable in your answers, all right? So, but again, please be honest and please receive the answers. So this question is going to be for Emma, Sam, and Jeremy. What is one thing you wish you had done during your time here at PHS that you did not do?
So I recently had an interview with a guy from Stanford, so I feel like he's the end-all be-all on applying to college. And he told me something that I was like, this is crazy. He said that college admissions people are looking for people who got into a club and that was their thing and they took it to the state level, the national level. And I was kind of like, I just did everything. I didn't like pick one thing that I was really good at and do it really well. And I wish that I had done that because now my schedule is crazy. I don't have time for myself. You know, you plan for your senior year to be fun. Find something fun for you to do. Don't make it so hard on yourself trying to make the best college application or job application in the world.
So it's okay not doing everything, but what you do, be great at it.
Correct.
Who's next? Who are we going down to? Where are we rolling? All right, Jeremy, you got to elaborate on this answer for us.
So I wish I would have tried out different CTAE pathways. Playing football, I had to take a weight training every semester, and so that really limited me. I would only have one free extracurricular class, and I had to take an ag class every year so I could be an FFA and take that to the next level. But I really wish I would have tried out the business pathways, the engineering pathways, the film pathways. Just try out different things is really what I wish I would have done. You don't have to get involved in the club that's associated with those pathways. Just take the classes.
Just explore. I love it, Jeremy. Great answer. Who are we going to next? Sam.
Like Jeremy said, I would want to try out different CTAE pathways. I completed the engineering pathway, but I wish I did more. And it looks good to have multiple ones completed because it's 3 classes and it just gives you certification in them, which is very important. You can put in your college application. And also, I would say clubs. Clubs are very important when it comes to applying to college, and I didn't really know that since I played sports throughout high school. I didn't really have time to do other stuff, but then it came down to my senior year, and I'm like sitting there listening to everybody and what all they did, and I'm just like, I didn't have all that, so I had to really push my senior year to get myself more involved with a lot of stuff through the school, and it also widens your community when you do more clubs, and you get to talk to more people and make more connections.
So I think we've heard a consistent trend of talking about, you're hearing about their senior year and how overwhelming it can be applying for the scholarships. What's the dates? What's the next deadline? What's the time? And while also trying to make sure you stay on top of your grades, doing interviews. So this next question is, what advice do you have to our rising seniors to best manage the stress that comes your senior year? Because it's supposed to be fun, right? Your senior year, they always tell you it's supposed to be fun. But as we've heard, there's a lot of stress that comes with it. So what advice do you have about managing that stress?
So my biggest advice would be to prioritize what you need to do to achieve what you want, whether that be college or a career or something else. You need to prioritize and just focus and make sure that's your biggest goal, whilst also holding a balance and making sure that you can relax on yourself and take the break when you have it. You're not always going to have that break, but when you get it, make sure that you enjoy it and you're able to enjoy your senior year while maintaining yourself at that level that you need to be to achieve what you want.
So what are some things that you enjoyed your senior year?
I enjoyed the student section, senior sunrise, things like that are really only for seniors for us to enjoy.
Nice. Who else? Yeah.
So my best advice that I could give you guys is to remember that it's okay to not know for sure what you want to do. I had the hardest time figuring out where I wanted to go, what I want to do, and I'm still not 100% sure about it. But it's okay to go to college and figure out that you don't like it there and want to transfer somewhere. It's okay to change your major. It's okay to think that you're doing the right thing and it not be the right thing for you. But also, while there's so many things that come at you through senior year, there's so many scholarships, so many deadlines, you're trying to tackle classes on top of that, you might be playing a sport or be active in a club, but my thing is, while those are so important and you have to stay focused on those, do things that let you have fun and relax through your senior year. I had so much fun being in the senior front row of the student section, going to senior sunrise, being on the dance team. Like, I have lived out all of these things my senior year that let me relax while I was trying not to worry about what I wanted to do, because it's okay to not know.
I think the biggest thing that I can say is just sometimes, you know, when you're in the midst of applying for college, applying for scholarships, and you're writing all these essays, you know, it can feel a lot like you're kind of in your own world and you're kind of the only one who's struggling with this problem. But you got to remember, you're in a class of like 300 to 250, something like that, who are all experiencing, or some, for the majority, are experiencing the same thing. You know, they're all applying for colleges, applying for scholarships, that kind of thing. So the biggest advice I could give is just talk to the people who are around you, and don't it can be stressful, but talking to people who are going through the same thing as you can be a huge help when it comes to understanding what you're going through, and also just like being able to talk through it is a big stress reliever. And then, you know, it's your senior year. You know, it's your last year in high school before if you go to college. If you haven't done anything yet that you want to do it. If you want to take that CTE class, go for it. If you want to, you know, it's your last year, but if you want to join this club, they're not going to turn you away at the door. Just, you know, milk it for all it's worth. It's your last year in high school, so just take advantage of it.
One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give you guys as a class is mindset. There's a lot of times where you're going to go into really heavy, stressful situations, and you're going to have a lot of weight on you, people depending on you. You know, for me, you know, I'm in so many different programs. I'm in band, chorus, and theater, and I'm heavily dependent on, and sometimes I go from rehearsal to rehearsal to rehearsal. So I'm leaving a band rehearsal, like in marching band, I'd literally run from my dot on the field and go inside, go to the bathroom, grab a piece of paper towel and wipe my sweat off, and then come here, throw on my mic, and then be dancing and performing and acting. And the biggest thing for me, in order to not get super stressed out and get upset and take it out on other people, is the mindset. That can make or break you, as not only as a person, but as a group of individuals. That will make or break you. So keep that mindset, and do not be a half glass empty. Be a half glass full type of person, because there are a lot of people who don't get the wonderful opportunities that we do here at Pickens High School. So take those opportunities and have a great mindset so you can continue on and keep that motion going through your senior year.
I think that's a great segue into our next question. Great answer, Christian. It's a great segue. I know this is hard to believe for everyone in the room, but things don't always go your way. You don't always get what you want. And so, Emma, you're the only one that gets to answer this question. All right, you ready? Ready. So the question we have for you is, did you experience a moment in your senior year where it didn't work out the way you wanted, and how did you handle it?
So I'm sure y'all saw on the Facebooks that I got that Questbridge thing, right? I was a finalist for it. And to be a finalist, you had to after that, you could apply to all these colleges. And if you got accepted to a top college with a full scholarship. And y'all, I don't have a lot of money at all. And I thought, this is the only way that I'm gonna be able to go out of state and do what I wanna do, go where I wanna go, and not have to worry about money. And I didn't get it, y'all. And I was devastated. There's a video of me, because I thought, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get something, and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm gonna post it. No, I sat at my kitchen table, and I cried for like an hour, y'all. It was devastating. It ruined my whole week. But.
We're gonna stay if you guys don't mind. You guys mind? I know you all want to get back to class and learn, but I think we have some good knowledge here, right? Are we good to stay? I think you guys were being respectful and attentive. If the teacher needs to go, guys, have a seat. Hold on. Come on. If a teacher needs to go right ahead. All right, we can cover it with ourselves. but I think there's some important stuff. And so as the principal, I get to make these decisions that we're going to go ahead and just pivot and stay. Are we good? Yes?
Y'all, I'm going to keep talking whether you like it or not. Anyway, but you know what? I persevered. I said, what happens to me is what is supposed to happen to me, and I'm going to do this anyway. So I got to apply to like 13 different colleges, Yale, Princeton, Johns Hopkins, Harvard, for free through this program. And you know what? I'm going to go to college no matter what. And that's what I tell myself. There's always a positive. When one door closes, another one opens. That's life. It happens. Period.
Period.
Drop the mic. Bam! All right, show of hands, juniors. How many plan on doing work-based learning and dual enrollment next year?
Raise
your hands.
Raise your hands, it's good.
Perfect. All right,
Yeah.
good. Good. So this question's gonna speak to you. You ready? So this is for Farah, Elena, and Wyatt. If you participated in work-based learning or dual enrollment, how did you stay connected to PHS and make sure that you didn't miss out on any activities?
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna just a little rant. Dual enrollment and work-based learning, but personally I do dual enrollment. And dual enrollment with Mr. Bell, he's right there. He is so good at what he does, and he honestly makes sure. He honestly makes sure, like whatever classes you want to go to, like you can get to them. You just have to like work together in order to do that. And Mr. Bell has been very, very good with working with me into getting to the classes that I need to get for like credits, like for college. And if y'all don't know what dual enrolling is, it's just like we typically work with Chat Tech, but you're allowed to like dual enroll in other colleges. But Chat Tech like works really well with us. So you go to Mr. Bell, you ask him, hey, can you dual enroll? And then he finds like classes that would benefit you for your career in the future, so you don't have to take as many classes, and it's free college. That's amazing. But how I stayed active in high school, still with dual enrolling, because I dual enroll twice. I don't have a morning class and I don't have an afternoon class. I decided to take classes that would still go with my club. So one of the clubs I'm in is an FFA, and you have to take an ag class. So I decided to take an ag class to like stay in touch like with the teachers, to stay in touch with the contests and everything. And also I'm taking like AP Micro, which is a class that I need to graduate. And if y'all haven't taken it yet, y'all will need to. And I just take classes that are relevant to my clubs, relevant to my schedule, like to the course of graduating, and things that I just need for high school. This also helps me like stay in touch with friends, like talk with them, hang with them. So dual enrolling is very important, but it's also very important to stay in high school and not get the mindset of just trying to get out of it as soon as possible, because you don't want to get out of it as soon as possible, even though y'all might think that. I mean, we all graduate in 2 months, and it's very nerve-wracking. So just try to like stay in it as long as you can, but definitely dual enroll with Mr. Bell. It's very appreciated.
Pass it down here to Wyatt. All right.
I'm gonna throw up.
Pass it on down, Wyatt.
So whenever I heard about dual enrollment and work-based learning, I was all in for it. I like high school, but at the same time, I do like leaving. So I started my junior year, and I took an algebra class at Chat Tech. And one of the main things I was worried about was just not being at high school. You're not going to see your friends as much. I was worried to death that I was just going to be irrelevant and nobody's going to know who I was anymore. But which is partially true. But anyway, with my algebra class, I went with a bunch of my friends. I had 4 friends in there. We would all leave, go eat afterwards. We could have time on our off days. We go to the library. It's just a really good experience to go ahead and get that college knocked out of the way. It's going to be a little bit easier than your actual college, and it's free. And Chat Tech's great. I love going to Chat Tech. It's right there. And also work-based learning, I do that now. It's just it's something where you can leave and you can go work, but I try to stay involved, just get in clubs, go to all the athletics, go to all the sports games and everything, and just try to still stay involved and stay in touch.
Nice. So Farah, question. How did you stay connected to make sure you didn't miss out on the stuff happening here at PHS?
Okay, I dual enroll at UNG Blue Ridge. So twice a week I do that lovely 1 hour drive on 515 and look at absolutely nothing for an hour, but it's okay, it's a good drive. But I only do one class up there. I do online classes for my other periods. So I have 2 online classes and then 1 in person, which gives me a lot of free time because I only have a first period here. So I'm very fortunate to have a really cool boss who lets me work during the middle of the day so that as soon as the afternoon comes around, I'm still able to go to rehearsal and practice, but I'm also still able to go to like those senior like events and also get to go to like games and stuff like that. So online classes are an option, and if you think you can't handle an online class, you probably can. They're not as bad as you think they are. Through UNG, I'm able to do classes through something called eCore, which they're online classes which are taught with like one of my classes has students from KSU, UGA in it. But as funny as it sounds, my favorite classes have been on there because those professors are really good about making sure the content is still engaging. But yeah, I'm a big proponent for online classes, so if that's something you're interested in, you should definitely do it because you get a lot more free time back and it's awesome.
Awesome. So we got 3 more questions, and I do want to have an opportunity for them to ask any questions, and we're going to go through these questions. What has been your favorite thing about being a senior at Pickens High School? Where are we going to? So I got Jaden, Christian, Jackson, and McKinley. McKinley, where'd you go? You go first. Yes.
So for me, I started my senior year. I have a little countdown on how many days are left until graduation on my
72.
And when I first started the countdown, like every day that went by, like oh my gosh, I'm almost done, like it's almost over, and I was kind of like relieved in a way. And then the more days that went by, the more I realized it's not as exciting because I'm like every day that like has passed is one less opportunity to go do something and make more memories and to stay involved at school. So now every time a day goes by, I see the days that are left as every day is an opportunity to make another memory. Every day is an opportunity to get outside of your comfort zone. Every day is an opportunity to pray for your future. And my goal is just like to not take it for granted and enjoy the little moments, because I think that there's a lot of talk about seniors and you watch class after class graduate, and then when it's your turn, I think there is actually something special about it. Like, it doesn't hit you at first, but once you realize, oh, it's like my turn and I'm the one walking on senior night, stuff like that, I think that's been one of my favorite things, and just enjoying every moment I can before it's gone.
My favorite thing about being a senior is giving the underclassmen swirlies. That might be the best thing that I've ever done. But no, really. I just enjoy being involved, and as a senior, all the people are like, oh my God, we're graduating in this many days. So we do a lot of things
72.
together. 72. We do a lot of things together. High school's good. I mean, now that you're a senior, you kind of just roam the halls and hope and pray you don't get caught.
I'm going to be checking your smart passes.
One of my favorite things here at PHS is the opportunities that PHS provides for you. As a senior, I've been graciously handed so many opportunities, like networking. Networking is one of my big strong suits. One of the things that PHS has allowed me to do is to network up to big people like Yaya Lady. Me and her are friends. People like Jens Litterman, world-renowned trumpet player, that type of thing. PHS is just the ground for you to be able to work your way up. But my most favorite thing here at PHS is you. The student body is so alive here at Pickens High School. And I know some of you don't believe that, but seriously, look at some of the things that, they're posting on Facebook, or just open your eyes just a little bit more and see what each department's doing. There are so many good things that come out of each department, and that comes from every single one of you. Every single one of you that do things like 4-H, FFA, fine arts, esports, football, everything that you guys do, it comes down to you and your work ethic. So my favorite thing here is being able to spend that time with you.
Jackson?
My favorite thing about being a senior is being able to help more. Because whenever you're an underclassman, even a junior, you don't get as many responsibilities and opportunities to help where people really need the help. And being a senior just opened a whole new door for me being able to help everybody that I can. And I really do appreciate it.
Nice. All right. We're going to quickly answer this one. Briley, Grayson, Sydney. This is a SAT, ACT question. We understand how important it is to applying to college. When do you think the best time to take it?
Okay. You guys are ahead of the curve. For you guys, I would definitely recommend taking the ACT as well. I took both, and I found that I liked the ACT way better. They're two very different tests, so it's just kind of like whatever floats your boat, wise as like whatever you're more comfortable with. As far as when to take it, I would say the earlier the better, especially because you guys are already some of you guys are already past those like SAT math classes, your algebras and stuff like that. And you're going to want to take it while those are still fresh on your mind. Also, just to apply for colleges, you're going to need your SAT or ACT scores.
Oh, no.
Okay, I would definitely recommend, for everyone who has not taken the SAT or ACT yet, take it either, I think the next one's in May, and then they have 2 over the summer. You need to take at least one of those. I strongly recommend taking the SAT at more than once, at least 2 or 3 times, because you do need a good score on it. And typically you're either better at the ACT or the SAT, and whichever one you're better at, that's the one that you want to tell all the scholarships and everything that you do, because it did come down, like, I'm a very well-rounded person and stuff. I have a lot of things on my college application, but there were multiple times, not trying to, but there were multiple times where it came down to my SAT and they'd be like, oh yes, like you're a really good candidate for this, but your SAT's like just kind of on the bubble of what we accept and stuff. And I didn't really realize how important my SAT was. And my biggest thing is I wish I would have taken it more earlier, because then I got down to the college applications and everything and it was like, oh crap, I actually need a good SAT score. And so yeah, take it in the summer if at all possible.
Sydney?
So I took both my SAT and my ACT multiple times. My mom is a very type A person and made me take my SAT the summer of my sophomore year, which was a little early because I didn't know all of the information that I needed to actually take the test and know how to do all of the math and all of the English stuff. But I would definitely recommend taking them as soon as possible. I did better on the ACT. I took it multiple times. And the more you can learn to manage your time well on the test, the better, because that's actually the hardest part. You have to know the material, yes, but you have to be able to do it quickly because the time is not that much. In the math section, you have a minute to do every single problem on the ACT. You have less than a minute for all of the ones in science on the ACT. So you have to really know how to manage your time well and spend more time on the harder questions, less time on the easier ones.
So just real quick, show of hands, how many people up here took both SAT and ACT? Okay. Of you 5, who liked the ACT better? Okay, nice. Just curious. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Hold on, she wants to add something.
If you're somebody like me who's really bad at math and you have to write on top of the question, the ACT is still offered on paper.
Oh, it's good to know. Take the paper. Take the paper, they say. All right, last question. So we've talked about a lot of college, and we talked about a lot of other different opportunities, but we also know there's more out there, right? There's more than just going to college. We know college is not for everyone, right? So the question that we have is, what other opportunities have you discovered other than going straight into our military workforce or college that you would like to share with the group? So, McKinley?
To attend college and stuff like that, but my freshman year of college I'm choosing to do Chat Tech because what I want to do as a potential career doesn't require a lot of schooling or a certain degree, so it didn't make a lot of sense to me to spend a whole lot of money on college when I could spend a year saving money, attending Chat Tech, and applying at places to work that would help with what I wanted to do in the future. I still want to go to college, so I think transferring is really good. I know we've already talked a little bit about transferring. I just think you could save a lot of money that way, especially if Chat Tech is where you transfer from. I think some schools are also easier to get into as a transfer student rather than straight out of high school into college. So that's just something I decided to do because it worked best for what I want to do in the future, and it worked best for my situation.
Yeah, so for me, I grew up in Indonesia, and one of my family's roles over there was to receive students coming out of high school, and they were doing the same thing that I plan on doing next year, which is taking a gap year and dedicating that time to the Lord and telling people about Jesus. And whenever we came back to America, I was a freshman, sophomore year, like planning to go to college and all that. But I was in your seat, and my summer after my junior year, I went to one of the meetings of the Global Year, which is the program, and I met people that I knew, and I thought, wow, this could be me in 2 years. And so I applied for it, and I got accepted, and I just think what I want to say is, we're talking a whole lot about college and stuff, but that's not the only option. You can take a gap year to figure out what you want to do in the future, and I think that's really helpful, because I believe that God has a plan for my life and each one of your lives. It says in Proverbs 16, man makes his plans, but God directs his steps. And I believe that wholeheartedly, that you can make a plan for college, do that, absolutely. But don't be afraid if God decides to take you off that path.
That concludes our question period for me. Without getting crazy. Does anyone have a question that they would like to ask after hearing all that information? No? All right. Well, we'll close out this way. Bradley? Will you pass it to Bradley, please?
Jackson has a question.
Jack? Who?
Jack has a question.
Jack Taylor.
Jack, do you have a question?
Of all the 4 years that you guys have had to enjoy high school sports, what was y'all's favorite tennis match that you got to watch?
Just like nobody goes to this. I've gone to one, but I don't remember who they were.
Higgins versus White County. We got an answer.
I say I've only been to one.
Yeah, I've only been to one.
Out of 4 years, I've only been to one.
Holman Keener in 8th grade. He was involved.
Brian, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
I started with a quote. You guys don't know, as I told the seniors, I'm a big quote person. I love quotes. I love thinking on them, pondering them. Well, Miss Champion gave me a calendar at the beginning of the year that counts down the number of days to graduation. And each day is a quote that they give. And this one stood out to me about 5 days ago. So I'm going to read the quote, I'm going to share it with you. Then Bradley, I'm going to ask you to express what this quote means.
Sounds perfect. Yeah.
I figure if I can put anyone on the spot, it's you. All right. The same boiling water that softens a potato hardens an egg. It's what you're made of, not the circumstances. I'm going to read it again.
Okay.
Give you a chance to talk. The same boiling water that softens a potato hardens an egg. It's what you're made of, not the circumstances. Go, Gladys. Close this out.
Okay, I'm going to use another quote that kind of, I think, relates just perfectly. I'm not quoting this exactly right, so don't come at me. But you can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree. And I think that perfectly kind of correlates into this, is everybody has different talents and everybody has different passions and everything. Some of you, like for instance, Christian is very, very good at music. I have no musical bone in my body. I can't even play the recorder. I mean, I think I barely got an A in that in elementary school because she was like, oh my gosh, you're so off tune. However, I can run really fast. That's something that I'm really good at. And so I think the quote kind of means everyone has different talents that they're good at, and you have different things that you're going to excel at. So like for instance, me and Jaden, we're both going to the Citadel, and we're going to be doing this military stuff and everything. But that's not for everybody. I mean, that's the same reason why he's taking his gap year. Everybody has a different path in life that they're going to take, and everyone has a different way that they're going to excel in separate things. Everybody is good at something, but you just have to find that something that you're good at, or that's something that you're passionate about. And I think that's kind of what the quote's going at.
I think that's a great way to sum it up.